because you cannot really build large office buildings and hotels for the sub 30 million that tends to be popular amongst mid-tier investors. So if Jesse and his team are buying it, you're probably going to buy 10 to $30 million properties, and there's plenty of multifamily available. I can't say the same for hotels. I can't say the same. Offices, yes, but the kind of offices that you want to buy that cash flow, those are usually larger buildings, right? Yeah. So an office project is typically larger, which is why they've always been popular on the institutional side. But today, a survey just came out earlier today from Marcus and Millichap. And when the survey asked people, what do you want to buy, right? Right now, they want to buy multifamily, industrial, storage, self-storage. What do you want to sell? Retail, hotels, and office. Yeah. Right? So, I mean, that's where we stand today. And by the way, people still want to buy senior housing. Though senior housing has taken the biggest hit amongst all the verticals. It's not retail. Retail's taken a hit, but, they reopened. Yep. But senior housing over the last 11 months has continued to drop in occupancy and has dropped to the lowest level in its history as of this month. So you might think, well, they're coming back. Well, not yet. I don't know when they're going to come back. But people still want to buy senior housing because the long-term, the fact that America is getting older is something that people are still focused on. So that asset class is doing poorly, but people are still interested in it. My focus, though, has changed over time. And I think anybody who's in it for a while will see that. As you know, I'm obsessed with numbers. So I'm looking at everything in a very different way. I've got weird rose-tinted glasses. So my investors would come to me and say, I loved this project. We made 24% annualized. Thank you. I did nothing. You send me these incredible monthly reports with videos every month. That's awesome. I've never seen anybody else do that. But here's the problem, Neil. After 4 years, you sold it. And all of the depreciation that you gave me in those 4 years got recaptured. And on top of that, I had to pay capital gains taxes on the gain at the end. And I had to pay ordinary income on all the cash flow you gave me. I don't like doing that. And people are like, no. You're the mad scientist. Figure out a way where there's no taxes. And I'm like, that's a fool's errand, right? So but people kept saying it for over the years. And eventually I'm like, there must be an asset class that has no taxes. If there's a way to do it, I'm going to do it. So first I veered off to opportunity zones and things like that. I did some projects there. They were successful, but eventually I realized this is a very niche thing. I need something that is more widespread, but is tax-free. So eventually, after lots of research, I realized that if you do a certain thing, fourplexes are tax-free. And you might say, well, everything Neil is about to say applies to single family. And the answer is no, only some things apply. So when you build a fourplex, and you hold it for 30 years, you're getting the depreciation for 27 and a half years. It's not getting recaptured because you're not selling it, right? And on top of that, when you're building all this equity gain over 30 years, imagine how much equity you gain over 30 years. Imagine like 10 syndications, 3 years each, right? So you're building millions of dollars of equity, and you're never paying any taxes on it. And when you die, the basis adjusts because the law says that, and your kids never pay any taxes on it. And unless they sell it, the massive millions of depreciation, well, nobody pays any taxes on that either. So on the ordinary income, you're not paying any taxes. On the equity, you're not paying any taxes. You just have to hold it forever. And people are like, I don't like holding it forever. I want to cash out. Well, who's stopping you from cashing out? By year 5 or 6, its equity has gone up to the point where you can refinance. It's a single family loan, right? Anybody can refinance it, right? There's 10 lenders within a mile's radius that will refinance it. Take all the money out, get to infinite returns, keep it forever, rinse, repeat. Yeah. And it sounds too easy, but that's what I found was the best. It completely got around the objections of people around taxation and depreciation recapture. So there was one huge problem though. I was like, so people are buying their own fourplexes. How am I going to make any money? Right? So it clearly is the best option. I built Excel spreadsheets that showed 10 syndications versus a fourplex hold, 5 syndications versus a fourplex hold, 3 syndications versus a fourplex hold. It beats the shit out of everything, right? Because they're not paying any taxes. So it always beats the crap out of everything else. Yeah. But then I was like, how do I make money in this? So I eventually figured out a model to do that. And that has become our new base. We'll still do multifamily. We'll still do multifamily development, value add. But that's become our new base. And the model that I figured out is I build those fourplexes for people. and I sell it to them.
Yeah.
And it took me 3 years to figure out how to do that, because it's much harder to do that than, let's say, just buying a fourplex that's in the marketplace. So that's the model we have right now. It's a true wealth building model. And I got to the point where I don't charge any profit. I just take fourplexes as my profit. I'm building a percentage of that generational wealth by taking all of my profit in fourplexes. So I'm, now going to end up with fourplexes in Idaho Falls, in New Braunfels, in Houston, in North Carolina, just wherever I'm building them, because there's 7 projects that we're building at different price points, different delivery dates. I mean, that's nirvana for me, because I'm not paying any taxes at all.